Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. We are here for our Thursday 13. These are the 13 music videos, music songs that you need to react to in order to start your new React channel. This is Before Coffee, the father and daughter comprehensive news of Planet Earth podcast, where we look up our stories 10 to 15 minutes before we started. We've just got caffeine in our body and are trying to wake up and learn to read these articles. So, what are in today's hot headlines? Today on Thursday's 13. Germany, UK pledged to coordinate on nuclear deterrence, security, and landmark treaty.
And good morning for the United States. We're going to talk about Belgium now, where Tomorrowland Music Festival fire damaged a main stage, but the festival will go on.
France ends its permanent military presence in Senegal.
And on Thursday 13, we have the 13 must-watch videos. If you're going to do a reaction channel, these are the videos you will get views on.
I would go dance in the shows and work on sonnets. Ncuti Gatwa's sexy new Shakespearean drama.
And it's World Emoji Day. World Emoji Day. So, I don't know, thumbs up. It's July 17th, 2025 on Before Coffee.
For what reason?
I sleep a lot.
Right, but time does just fly past faster.
I definitely don't shortchange myself on
If you're sleeping through the whole day, then it definitely, yeah.
Not really just sleeping through the whole day. I get up and take several naps. So a 20-minute nap there does wonders. Actually doesn't do anything. It's just a nap. It doesn't do anything. It's not like I'm building a bridge or anything. I have projects, but I work on them really sporadically.
Oh, it's raining today. I won't work on that one today. It's too much trouble. Too hot.
Hashtag sporadic. Right. It's mental health day almost every day.
Well, we're definitely supporters of mental health here. Let's roll our segue wheel so we can spread some joy with our creativity.
Yes, exactly. I'm waiting for that inspiration to come rolling across me. So
metaphor is our first segue today. So mix it up. All right. What are we talking about again? I already forgot. Germany and the UK have made a treaty together. Yes. This is on Eurocitiv. Joint pledge aligns with Merz's controversial push to extend the Anglo-French nuclear deterrent to the rest of Europe. This is from Nick Alipour. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz and Prime Minister Keir Starmer signed a landmark friendship treaty today on the 17th of July, which will see the two countries collaborate more closely on security matters, including on nuclear deterrence. The signing in London's crowns a diplomatic effort that began last summer when Starmer and Merz's predecessor Olaf Scholz announced that they would seek to sign the country's first ever bilateral friendship treaty. The endeavor, which they said would cover the full bandwidth of relationship, has been compared with the wide-ranging Treaty of Aachen, the friendship treaty signed between Germany and France in 2019. The final text, dubbed the Kensington Treaty, puts security at the heart of the relationship, building on last year's Trinity House Agreement. Both the UK and the European countries have sought closer cooperation after Brexit and the face of America's potential withdrawal from Europe's security architecture. Among the most eye-catching provisions, the pledge that both Berlin and London would pursue deep exchanges and close dialogue on defense, strategic security policy, including on nuclear issues and nuclear threats. Looking at you, Russia. Foul lines with Merz's push to discuss the extension of the Franco-British nuclear deterrence to the rest of Europe, which remains controversial in the pacifist-leaning Germany. I mean, they have to be pacifists, because as soon as Germany starts doing anything, people are going to be like, rid of the Nazis! Crazy how bad you can be as a country, and then you're basically painted. I mean, this is the reason why, Austria and Hungary were no longer allowed to be a country after World War I, because their entire relationship was painted black. Just don't trust those guys. Austria and Hungary together? No way. I guess right now, though, Hungary is definitely carrying on the torch of being distrustful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Germany didn't technically start 2 world wars. I know that Germany got blamed for World War I, but it was definitely a thing that was boiling. The whole of Europe was boiling to get into a fight. Germany was just the first one to be like, that's it. We're done. We're done. Let me clear the room, guys. It was all Germany's fault. He threw the first bomb. Look what he did to Belgium. Well, France also didn't do so great for Belgium either, but they didn't get any of the blame. They're just farmers. Poor little French farmers. They didn't do anything in World War I.
Yeah, they had a big old war to settle everything, and it settled nothing.
I mean, it reminds me of a joke I saw, I think, by Trevor Noah. He said something along the lines of, certain countries use food in order to give themselves good PR. France did terrible things in Congo. But hey, look at this croissant. Look at this pasta, you know? Wow, so delicious. Wine, so good.
The French did?
Don't ignore that stuff. Here, eat.
I'm thinking of the Belgians. Wasn't it Belgians in Congo?
Oh, you're right. It was the Belgians. What did the French do? Yeah. Oh, they did stuff bad thing in Algeria. Terrible things in Algeria. Yeah, and we'll talk about the French being in Africa in my next story, but
I can't believe
thought it was an interesting observance.
Happy that we're here.
Yeah.
I can't believe these natives aren't happy we're here. We got me off the subject now.
Well, I'm just saying the French are not innocent. Germans are innocent, right? And that's why they need to work hard to spread this particular treaty, right? This defense treaty with the rest of Europe. Because if France or Germany starts shit, everyone else gets pulled into it, unfortunately. That's just the state of Europe. I think probably since the beginning of history.
We are French. You must do things our way.
When it was German, not France, but the Gauls are pulling everyone in to fighting Rome. You know?
Yeah, that's why they got that term, it takes a lot of gall, right?
Yeah. Moreover, it includes a mutual assistance clause, which will complement... Oh, wait, sorry. I skipped a paragraph because I was scrolling a lot. The battle lines with Mertz's push to discuss extensions of the Franco-British nuclear deterrence to the rest of Europe, which remains controversial in pacifist-leaning Germany. Merz and French President Emmanuel Macron said in May that they would create a high-level Franco-German Security Council where such topics would be discussed. The Germany-British Treaty also establishes annual strategic dialogues to be held between the country's foreign ministers and senior officials to discuss security issues. Moreover, it includes a mutual assistance clause, which will complement and strengthen the mutual assistance clauses that are established by NATO and existing bilateral treaties between Germany, Britain, France, and German government sources. On Monday, which was of July, the new treaty will complete the triangle of large-scale treaties between the 3 countries, which are also known as the EU3s. A senior EU diplomat said the point of the agreements and formats was to strengthen the individual threads within the web of European relations, some of which have been severed by the UK's exit from the EU, which Starmer is slowly trying to sew back up again. Aside from security, the countries also commit to cooperating on fighting migrant smuggling, on limiting the increase of global average temperature to 1.5, it used to be 1.2, above pre-industrial levels, and youth exchanges. The British government have been particularly keen for treaty to reflect its focus on growth and trade, as the UK government source told Versative, although the treaty was somewhat limited by EU competence area. The treaty's future had been intermittently in limbo, however, after the collapse of the Germany's government last year, prompting negotiations halted. Talks resumed after Merz's inauguration, with a review of the existing text and some resharpening, especially on security. The government source said both sides were closing in on signing just 1 month into the term, as was first reported by Versative. The text still has to be ratified by the German Bundestag, which is the Congress, their parliament, needs to say, we agree with everything in here. And remember, guys, that Speaking of the government collapse, remember when all the Americans were panicking last year about it, and nothing bad happened, and everything's fine. World did not end, at least in Germany. People thought Germany was gonna, I don't know what they thought was gonna happen.
Yep.
But they thought something bad was gonna happen, but nothing bad happened. Good to see that this treaty has gone through for the UK and Germany, and maybe even more. Maybe the Benelux countries can join to unify more of Europe.
Oh yeah, make it one big. There's my metaphor. One big happy family. Europe, just one big happy family. Uncle Pierre likes to eat snails. Yeah, I'm just saying. Uncle Pierre likes to eat snails, and Uncle Hans likes his sauerkraut. So that's your big happy family
of Europe, of our food. And that's why nobody forgives Germany, because they can't forgive the sauerkraut. According to Trevor Noah, anyways. I love sauerkraut.
World War I in the United States, this is true, in the United States, in World War I, they called sauerkraut Liberty cabbage.
Wow.
Yeah, because propaganda works. We're all stupid. We just got to change the name of this food because we decided German's food is going to kill you somehow if you give it a different name. I don't know.
I don't like sauerkraut. I love sauerkraut. If I had to eat sauerkraut for the rest of my life, I would not complain. Genuinely.
I don't know what kind of cake to make you for your birthday.
I think the sauerkraut is really good here too, because we're next to Germany. Cake?
My experience with sauerkraut is quite unique. It's quite unique. Yeah. But anyway, my dad used to make it every year. He'd grow like 8 rows of cabbages, and then he'd have this big crock on the back porch, and he had this board that you slide it across. It's like a cutting board. It's got a blade in the middle on the bottom.
It's called a mandolin.
Over and over it. It's fun. I've done that. It's lots of fun. But boy, does that stink after about 3 days on the porch. And it don't stop stinking for, I don't know how long. 3 months? I don't know how long he leaves it in there. Anyway, really horrible smelling shit. I mean, worse.
Nice, fresh
I like sauerkraut. It's just like, that's how you make it, man. You just let it ferment in salt water, make its own brine, and it smells to high heaven.
Very good, though. Very good.
Totally different non sequitur, but hey, spin the wheel for my story, which is about, I had to find a longer one. I had to end up at Billboard.com, of all places.
Yeah, I didn't know Billboard even made articles until I saw it the other day.
Yes, they hire writers at Billboard. Why not, right? Make money, hire writers. Why not? Have information for people. Anyway, this is, did you spin the wheel?
Yes, alliteration headline.
All right. Tomorrowland main stage fire. Eyewitness described disbelief as blaze erupted. According to Katie Bain as the author. The festival's main stage was destroyed by fire on Wednesday, just 2 days before the start of the Belgian Dance Mega Festival. And there's a big old picture.
Better than somebody being on it, right?
But this picture is like from the long range. It's really horrible looking blaze, but it looks contained. But there's a guy like off to the left. His face is blurred out, but I can see why they blurred out his face because he's walking away from the fire. It's like, hey, that guy said it. Let's kill him.
No, he was just there going, hey, there's a fire. Let me call someone. Probably on his phone, right? The blaze is okay. He's on a walkie-talkie.
He's got a backpack on. I bet you that's full of gasoline. Anyway, the person... he's guilty, damn it, he's there! Anyway, a person who was present when the main stage caught fire tomorrow... Tomorrowland 2025 on Wednesday describes it as seen as one of disbelief. Kay Solsbergen works for a company that does catering for festivals in the Netherlands and Belgium, where Tomorrowland happens in the town. Hey, maybe you can get a job working there, and now they got to rebuild the stage, huh? How are you at construction? Kay Solsbergen works for a company that does catering for festivals in the Netherlands and Belgium, where Tomorrowland happens in the town of Boom. There's a town called Boom.
2 O's?
Boom, okay. Boom,
Boom.
Okay. Boom! I wonder if they ever got bombed.
In Dutch. Right. Bomb is 1 O.
Okay.
So never say boom instead of, you don't want to get those 2 words mixed up at the airport. That's the joke they say in Dutch class.
Oh.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
I have a tree in my luggage. You have a what in your luggage?
Where you going? I'm going. Boom.
Yeah.
He tells Billboard he was working in a vending area of the festival's camping area called the Dreamville when he saw someone filming in the direction of the main stage located across the site. I looked in that direction and saw a really big cloud of smoke coming from the festival area. Solsbergen tells Billboard. That's kind of when we were like, oh, okay, something is... You know why this is a Billboard story? Because they have reporters there in the ground because it's a music festival.
Yeah.
That's why they're reporting, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's kind of when we were like, okay, something is wrong, but there's the fireworks start going off, and then we knew it was really wrong. Then I got a call from one of my...
That's not good.
The fireworks are stored next to the stage. Good plan. Oh, of course, they probably
meant pyrotechnics, right? They just said fireworks.
Yeah, the pyrotechnics for a stage, for an act. Yeah, so. Then I got a call from one of my supervisors who told me that the main stage is on fire. All you need is one fireworks to go off, and it's over. It's probably made of wood, and it's probably 40 years old, right? Been painted a bunch of times, but it's probably dried out. As Solsbergen describes it, let's do this again. As Solsbergen describes it and has heard in widely shared videos of the fire as it burned, the sound of fireworks could be heard going off as the fire consumed the stage and everything on it, burning the massive structure down to its scaffolding. Solsbergen says that at this point, he and his colleagues were instructed to gather at a holding area of food and beverage supplies while firefighters put out the blaze, which Solsbergen estimates took approximately 2 to 3 hours. He says he and 2 other staff members stayed there until approximately 8:30 p.m. local time after a festival press conference and a big staff briefing on next steps. At that point, he was allowed to leave the site. Wow, he wasn't even allowed to leave? What do they think he was going to loot or something?
I guess they're just making sure.
I guess, I don't know.
You're playing with some fireworks on the stage.
I'm pretty sure they know what caused it. It'd be pretty quick to determine. There's lots of people around. It was crowded. He adds that the mood in the site shifted after he and other vendors saw firefighters refilling their water nearing the vendor area, and we kind of saw among them that they had the situation under control, so we got a little bit more relaxed. During the press conference, Tomorrowland's longtime spokesman, Debbie Wilmson, said that the plan is for the festival to go on as scheduled, starting on Friday, July 18th, but that'll be without the main stage this weekend, as well as the second weekend of Tomorrowland, scheduled for July 25th, 27th. Yeah, it takes a little time to rebuild the stage because you got to destroy the old one. Our production team will now do everything to make something beautiful out of it, Williamson said during a press conference, as reported by... Boy, he sounds like Trump, eh? Oh, there's nothing wrong here. You're just a little spark, that's all. Your stage burned.
We're just having a little fun.
We're going to make something beautiful out of this Holocaust. But we'll have to make some changes, but the intention for all this big artists to perform, we hope to be able to provide more clarity out of this on Thursday. Everybody grab a hammer, I guess. Start building a new stage. Wilmson said also that cancellation is not a consideration for organizers. They would really take a financial bath on that. No way they're canceling this. Insurance company will be like, no, you're not canceling it. You can still have it. The insurance company won't pay them. These big events, they do buy insurance company. They buy insurance for weather events like this, but I don't know. I don't think they'll pay the insurance policy if you cancel it for a fire that didn't destroy the whole place because insurance companies are crooks. Wilson also said that cancellation is not a consideration for organizers, although if tomorrow turns out that the site is not safe and we receive instruction from authorities, we will follow them. Safety is always a priority. There's little precedent guiding how Tomorrowland officials should move forward. Festivals have been afflicted by all kinds of terrible weather incidents, from torrential downpours and lightning strikes to tornadoes, windstorms, and even small earthquakes this year at the Coachella Festival. But never before has a fire at a festival's main stage the day before the festival started. Well, if you're like Woodstock 99, you just had fires during the festival, right? The cause of Tomorrowland fire is not known, but the public prosecutor's office in Antwerp, Belgium, has launched an investigation. No one is injured in the blaze, and Tomorrowland still plans to open its Dreamville camping area to attendees on July 18th. Tomorrowland reports typically today. It says okay. Today is Thursday, July 17th. Correct? I'm reading that correct. This article says that Thursday is July 18th. No, I'm pretty sure it's the same date in Europe, but yeah. Anyway, they don't know what day it is in this article. It says Dreamville camping areas I'd say, yeah, it's attendees on Thursday, July 18th. Well, today's Thursday. It is not July 18th. I know that. Tomorrowland reports typically housing 400,000
They're saying Tomorrowland starts on July 18th, but they forgot to say Tomorrowland.
No. Huh? Tomorrowland starts on Friday, July 18th, and it says the camping area attendees will start on Thursday. And then in parentheses next to Thursday, it says July 18th, which is definitely not Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Got it wrong.
Straight up, yeah.
It must work for Britannica gets a year wrong a lot, so.
I like when there's typos in an article, because that means that AI didn't write it. Now, like nowadays, right? Oh, somebody mixed up Y and T. That was just a typo because they're right next to each other on the keyboard, right?
Yeah, it's very easy to make a mistake on a date. I'm just correcting it. But for organizers and fans, the loss of the main stage is a crushing blow. Changing designs each year, the main stage is the festival's primary showpiece. They probably already did it with the fireworks this year, is what I'm guessing. With the fantastically designed structure, hosting sets from the biggest artists on the lineup, drawing crowds that can swell to more than 100,000. At the press conference, Williamson noted that the Sears stage had been in the works for the last 2 years. On social media, some attendees are already requesting refunds, given that Tomorrowland 2025 will be without what is arguably one of its primary attractions. The Tomorrowland main stage is a project on its own. It is something that's super special, and not only the people working for Tomorrowland, but everybody around the globe who loves it and looks forward to the reveal of Tomorrowland main stage and what's going to happen there. Well, we know what's going to happen there. So there was a lot of disbelief that the situation, the first hour and a half, was really about disbelief. Okay, if you're there for the stage, you're not there for the music. I don't know what the hell you're about, but I don't know what the hell to tell you. But the stage looked pretty cool right up until it started on fire. I'll say that. So it's a really sad day for that, but it comes too late, and it's probably due to the fact that they were rushing to get things done at the last minute. Somebody forgot some safety protocol. That's what I'm guessing. And kablooey!
Yeah.
Where's your headline?
Belgium boom bakes. Billboards basic band. There you go. Like there's something music based. A band, yes. But I think what happened here in this, what really happened here is that people were probably just disappointed because they wanted to see a show, and now that show is gone up in flames, really. And I think they're really lucky that did happen, not when somebody was on stage, right? It just happened to the stage. Mm-hmm. Nobody was there, no one got hurt, so.
Yeah, I'm going to say that this festival is going to suck without the main stage. And having to put people on a smaller stage that had their whole act planned, and now there's like, oh shit.
Opening plan that is not possible now because they don't have enough room.
Look, 3 dancers just fell off the stage because it's not big enough, or something like that. I don't know.
Ncuti said the main stage is on fire.
Burn! All right.
And also, good morning, Omlin. Thank you for claiming the first in stream today, even though Demigod was here first. But he didn't claim it, so he doesn't get it. So.
For me, I just think I think it's an opportunity for a lot of new songs that people weren't going to play. You go to the bombed out stage, and you could, burning down the house. You could play that, or the song you just mentioned, "The Roof's on Fire." Right?
Yeah.
All right. Next story, next spin, I guess.
Next spinny.
There's so many songs that are called Fire too, right? There's the one by Bruce Springsteen. There's the one by Jimi Hendrix. There's one by
I didn't set the stage on fire. It was always burning. That's what the
Billy Joel.
Billy Joel found is going to be singing.
Okay, there's my new 13 list. We're changing
best song. I told you, there's a list out there for best songs to change the lyrics to for any event, right? There's a list.
Oh, I've already got that. Yeah, I've already got that.
I already know 3 of them right there.
13 songs to play at the burned out stage. 18 different songs called
Tomorrowland when your main stage catches on fire.
We didn't start the fire. Fire by Bruce Springsteen. Fire
by BTS. BTS has a song called Fire.
By the Ohio Players had another one hit called Fire. Fire. Yeah, there's lots of songs called that.
Well, your next segue, get your pen and paper out because it's a limerick.
Oh, well, okay then.
Or Clairview if you want. I don't.
Well, limericks are more fun because you can end them.
Because they have an ending. Our story is coming out of Senegal, which has its last French fort or French base taken out of commission, mothballed. Not even mothballed, actually. I think it's actually like down forever. For anybody who doesn't know, mothballing is more like, we don't want to spend any more money on this, so we're shutting it down. But this is, think, is an actual, we're closing.
It's a metaphor. Yeah. It's a metaphor. There's not actual moths going to eat it.
Let me just translate this article. I don't know why, if I leave a page and come back, it's turned into French all of a sudden, even though I translated it already. Okay, here we go. This is on Le Monde, coming from AFP. Camp Gilet, the military aeronautical stopover located at the capital's airport in Senegal, are to be officially returned to the Senegalese state today on the 17th of July during a ceremony in Dakar. So it's now a Senegal base, no longer a French base. I have a picture here of somebody taking down the French flag, just rolling it down. The last French military installations in Senegal are to be officially returned to the country on the morning. Well, I guess it's already happened then. Already been returned to Senegal, July 17th, during a historic ceremony in Dakar, which will mark the end of the permanent presence of the French army, not only in Senegal, where it has been present since independence in 1960, but more generally in West and Central Africa. That's right, France, get the fuck out of here. Since 2022, the French army has in fact ended its permanent presence in Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Chad, and Gabon, which is not their original countries, because us Europeans just named it something. That's the place. Though to be fair, Chad is named after the huge lake called Lake Chad, but whether or not that is the original name of those countries, I have no idea. Where has been transformed into the Gabonese French shared camp focused on training. Camp Gilet, the largest French military installation in Senegal, located in the capital, and the military aeronautical stopover located at the airport, are to be returned to the Senegalese state on the 17th of July during a ceremony attended by General Mabaye Cissé, Chief of Staff of the Senegalese Armed Forces, and General Pascal Iani, head of the French Army Command for Africa. This day marks the official end of the French elements in Senegal, EFS, which comprised approximately 350 soldiers whose primary mission was to conduct operational military partnership activities with the Senegalese armed forces. The military presence in Senegal has been based since 1960 on bilateral defense and cooperation agreements with construction support for Senegalese army between 1960 and 1974. After its independence, Senegal remained one of the most reliable African allies of France, the former dominant colonial power in West Africa. But the new leaders in office since April 2024 have promised to treat France as equals to other foreign partners from now on, in the name of regained sovereignty. I agree. Honestly, you should treat them worse. They colonized you and probably killed a bunch of people. Fuck you, France. I don't want anyone to get into a war.
Let's not charge them with genocide without evidence for it.
Yeah. A renewed partnership, Senegalese President Bassirou Diomaye Faye came to power with a disruptive agenda announced in November 24, and of all French and foreign military presence on national soil by 25, which that's what year it is. Senegal is an independent country. It is a sovereign country. Sovereignty does not accommodate the presence of military bases in the country, he declared. Mr. Faye assured that this was not an act of rupture, defended a renewed partnership with the unknown power. They just want to be on even grounds here, taking France off its pedestal putting it with the rest of the world. French withdrawal began in March, and several installations have already been returned by the French army. But it has been confirmed on the French side from 11 to 12. In 11, the French forces of Cape Verde, FFCV, created in 1974, had in fact given way to the US, not having combat units but a pool of specialized instructors. And in 12, a change in form of the military partnership was ratified by the signing of the treaty establishing a partnership in matters of military cooperation between the two countries. Since then, the defense of the integrity of the territory has been ensured by the Senegalese armed alone. French withdrawal from Senegal was carried out in consultation in an African landscape largely defiant of the French presence. In the Sahel, faced with the seizure of power by juntas that had become hostile through coups, the French army deployed in the fight against jihadism had to pack its bags, willingly or unwillingly. Still has a base in Djibouti, which hosts 1,500 personnel. Paris wants to make it a projection point for missions in Africa after the withdrawal of its forces. But yet again, it's just kind of like, I love when they say jihadism. For anyone who doesn't actually know what that word means because it's been propagandized, it just means basing your politics off of religion. Making laws based off of a religion. That's what jihadism is, which Europe and America have been doing for centuries now.
Oh my. That as soon as the Constitution was ratified, idiots started to find ways around it.
But
I never understood.
But for some reason, people always use jihadism against Muslims or Islam, and Christians do it too. Yeah. Jews do it too. But for some reason, at least in my experience, it became a propaganda, anti-brown rhetoric word, right? Oh, jihadists! Yeah. When you think of jihadists, is it brown people or white people? It should be everyone, because everyone does it. Everyone who has a religious program is a jihadist.
Right. Nobody has a monopoly on cruelty or kindness. It's just a thing you decide that's going to solve your problems, right?
Yeah.
Usually creates more. Colonizers, right? What happens with colonizers, right? They can't run the government themselves, so they just find enough people in that country to run it, and those people again become enemies of the common people because they're working for the colonizer.
They're just working for them.
They become factionalized right down the middle. You're with the colonizers or you're against them. And unfortunately for these countries, when the people leave the colonizers, the people that were working in the government all get slaughtered. I mean, this happened over and over again. Cambodia is a classic example of that. The colonizer, the people that cooperated, are wholesale slaughtered. They don't even want to live with them. They don't want to live in the same country with them. And the people that take over, the people that win after the colonizer, are usually the fascists because they have the, we hate outsiders. And the xenophobia wins.
Populism.
So in the end, xenophobia wins because colonizers, Anybody that's strange is going to take us over. We know that already. Okay, so
can't trust anyone now because of the Europeans. God damn you, Europeans!
Oh, I got a limerick for this anyway.
Alright, do you have your limerick? Give me your limerick.
Senegal, once a colony of France, 1960 gave independence a chance. Now a base called Gillet? Okay.
Yeah,
now a base called Gillet has been surrendered after delay. The Senegalese now laugh, sing, and dance.
Woo!
Celebrate.
Blackface clothes! Yay!
Europeans out of here. Just bring your soccer games. That's all we want.
All right, that's the big joke about the French football team. I think that's another Trevor Noah joke. It's another Trevor Noah joke. At what point are you French? When you win? When you're on the French football team and you win the World Cup? Is that when you're French? Before that, you were Senegalese or Algerian, and suddenly you're no longer African because you win.
The picture of the French World Cup winning team is hilarious because it's all Senegalese, probably, right?
Yeah. France has won! We're gonna specifically call these Africans French now. Only these ones, though. The rest of them, you're a 7th generation African. What do you mean? Congratulations.
You get citizenship. You made France look good. All right, time to spin.
Let's spin the wheel for your next story, or your list. It's our 13 list. Get ready to argue in the comment how you're not going to react to any of these songs. I have to tell you a joke.
Oh. Okay. You gotta tell me a joke. Oh, there's 13 on my list, though, so maybe you got 13 jokes? No, probably.
I don't think so, but I'll try.
This is the list. Now, I watch my favorite thing to watch, at least recently, in the last 5 years or something like that, maybe longer, is reaction videos, like the old movies or old songs. Like songs, not necessarily songs that are great, but songs that are unique or whatever, you know? And I mean, there's your classic songs, you know, Bohemian Rhapsody, Hey Jude, you know, those are your classic you want to react to, but they've been seen so many times. I got a list of the must-see videos for these reactors. If you're a reactor, you want to start a reacting channel, these are the videos you do where people will click on them. They'll click on them without fail because they know the video is either bizarre or, you know, you'll see. Anyway, the number one video I've got on here is called Black Betty. If you know that song Black Betty by Ram Jam.
Black Betty, Bam Lam.
Yeah, exactly. It's an ancient
Black
song.
Betty had a child. They're reacting to the lyrics because it's a story song, right?
Right. Oh, no, you're reacting to the video. That's what you're reacting to.
Oh, I didn't even know I had a video.
No. Well, video, oh yeah, the video. Again, Ram Jam is not a band of any note, or they had no other hits. They were never
formally a band.
Right, and when that song hits, somebody, you know, started playing it, and all of a sudden we got a hit. They had to go make themselves a band, and they made a video. And the video is shot in somebody's backyard. It looks like it should have a trampoline in it or something. But it's this big backyard, and it's just... It's a southern rock band. It's a southern white, you know, southern rock. It's definitely southern rock band in the vein of Leonard Skinner and, you know, the Allman Brothers. But you know, it's a band of white guys, and the lead singer. When I was a kid, I thought it was a black guy. Right? When I was a kid, it sounded just like a black guy. But yeah, Black Betty, Bam Lam. Gotta watch the video. Gotta comment on the video. It'll blow your mind. Especially if you thought that was a black guy singing that song and you heard it before. Okay. Number 2 is Janis Joplin, live in 1967 at Monterey Pop, Ball and Chain. Janis Joplin, if you don't know anything about Janis Joplin, she died, she was 27 Club, she died in 1970. She had one of those voices that you can't fake, you can't duplicate. It just came out of her, right? I don't think she even planned it. But Ball and Chain is one of those where people just sit there with their mouth open and go, wow. So I can't describe it other than to say it's little ball of fire comes out on the stage with this really noisy psychedelic band behind her and just belts out a tune that just keeps you in your seat or knocks you out of your seat or whatever it is. You stop what you're doing. So Ball and Chain by Janis Joplin. You got to check that one out. Number 3 is The Who, my favorite band, amongst my favorite bands, because they just didn't care a whole lot about, you know, hey, the reviews are bad. Who gives a shit? Hey, we don't have any money. Who gives a shit? Let's go play. A quick one, While He's Away by Pete Townsend and The Who. This was recorded on a Rolling Stones TV special called The Rock and Roll Circus. The Rock and Roll Circus was shown at one time on television in the BBC and never shown again because the Rolling Stones suppressed it. The Rolling Stones management, I don't know, the rumor has it that The Who embarrassed them by performing better. That's the rumor. But the video you want to watch from that circus, I mean, it was a rock and roll circus. It featured John Lennon and Old Plastic Ono. Actually, it was John Lennon and Keith Richards' band called Dirty Mac. It featured Jethro Tull, the Rolling Stones, and The Who, and other bands. And a quick one, While He's Away, is like a mini opera. It's hilarious. It shows you the personality of the band, and you can't take your eyes away from it. Even though, wow, what the hell is this? A quick one, While He's Away, which is a song about, you know, your man's been gone for a year. They say at the beginning, he was home yesterday, but he ain't here. And of course, she falls for the Ivor, the engine driver. Ivor, the engine driver, has a little quickie while he's away, and he comes home and forgives her. So it's a great video. It's a great live video, and of course, almost all of these are not the singles you hear in the radio. These are live performances. Almost all of these. Number 4 is a Dutch band called Focus. I've shown you this video. The song's called Hocus Pocus. It has no lyrics. The lead singer / keyboardist is a yodeler. He yodels, he whistles, he plays the flute. He does all of that, doesn't sing. It will blow your mind. The best part about the Hocus Pocus video is it was a top 40 hit. My brother owned the 45. It had 2 sides to it because it was so long. It was a long album cut. The video in question is the one you have to watch, is the one on Midnight Special, a United States TV show. The Midnight Special said, we know your song's about 7 minutes long, but for commercials, we need to have this segment be 4 minutes. So they play that song at double speed. So it's a double speed rock track, played really fast with a lot of yodeling and a lot of instrumentation. And it's probably got, I think the 7 verses perhaps on the
7
Midnight Special version.
Wow.
Yeah, the original one has probably 10 verses. The original album cut probably has 10. Yeah. And here's the lyrics. That's all he does. That's it. And it's great guitar. One of the best guitar riffs you'll ever hear. Number 5. We're getting to the talking heads here. There's so many songs to choose from their classic Stop Making Sense concert video, but I'm selecting Life During Wartime because first of all, it's profound sounding. It's profound lyrics, and especially nowadays. Just imagine your country's at civil war, which a lot of countries are, and it puts you in their place. Like, I go to college. What are you talking about? College, night school. Anyway. Video itself is a live concert, where David Byrne, who is probably psychologically, what they call it, a savant, perhaps, a music savant, a lyric savant, an entertainment savant, whatever he is, he knows what you want to see for some reason. And anyway, David Byrne just runs for the whole song. He runs. He basically runs. And so does the band, by the way. The entire band is running in place the whole song. Crazy. Number 6, Frankenstein by the Edgar Winter Group. We talked about Rick Derringer, who was in the Edgar Winter Group, passing away a few weeks ago. He plays on this song, Frankenstein, which is also an instrumental. Also a number 1 hit. Made number 1 with those instrumentals. It made number 1. Got Edgar Winter, of course, the albino leader of the band, plays. This also is on the Midnight Special, and it's the Frankenstein live version where Edgar Winter plays on the song. He plays keyboards, one of those keyboards strapped around his neck. He plays saxophone, and he plays drums, and he plays synthesizer on the same song while the other band members are playing, including, yeah, exactly. He starts off on the keyboards. He goes to the drums to do it. As a drummer, he has a drum back and forth. Great video. The live video is great because you can see how talented Edgar Winter is. He's also a really good singer. Really good soulful blues singer, but he doesn't sing on this song. In fact, I don't even think he sings. Yeah, he does sing on the album, but yeah, Edgar Winter, multi-talented. Yeah, albino soul.
He's playing all the instruments.
Him and his brother Johnny are the whitest people you ever see, and they called it albino soul back in the day because they did have a lot of soul. If you listen to the Winters brothers, you will get it. Number 7 is The Wait by the band. Not specifically by the band, but this version is from The Last Waltz, the Martin Scorsese movie based on the band's last full concert with their original members. And this one features the staple singers. So if you don't know the song The Wait, it's got 5 verses. In the record version, the drummer Levon Helms sings the first 3 verses. The bass player Rick Danko sings the 4th verse, and Levon Helm sings 5. But in this version, it goes Levon Helm, Mavis Staples, Papa Staples, Rick Danko, and then everybody. And it's a great version of the song, and it was recorded after the concert because the concert for the Last Waltz was actually recorded on Thanksgiving, and that's kind of a weird day but that's when everybody had a day available. So it was recorded on Thanksgiving, and the Staples couldn't make it for that day, but they were there the next day to record The Wait without a crowd. There's no crowd in the place for this recording. But it's a great version of the song. Number 8 is Soul Sacrifice. You know, we had to go to Woodstock, and if you had to pick anything for Soul Sacrifice, you would probably pick Santana's ridiculous Soul Sacrifice Santana. Because
more people.
If you had to pick any song, it's I think 12 minutes long. But the story with this Santana appearance at Woodstock is legendary because they thought they were going on about 4 hours. Let's drop some acid. And guess what? You're going on in 10 minutes, pal. Oh, I'm tripping. I can't go on. You're going on. And go. Again, Carlos Santana says, yeah, I was playing that guitar, but to me, I was bending the neck because it was a snake, and it was talking to me, and it was doing this, and I was bending to me, like in his eyes, he was doing this with his guitar. Like, because he was tripping, and great drumming in this stuff. Of course, great guitar player, that goes without saying. But his drummer, who was only about 19 at the time, Shreve, I want to say Scott Shreve, but that's probably not his first name. Anyway, that guy hits it out of the park. Soul Sacrifice, the Woodstock concert, the long version, if you can find it and not get blocked. That would be number 8. Number 9 is Freebird by Leonard Skinner. The 1977 Oakland concert, which was totally packed, completely and totally football stadium, because they were on the same bill with Peter Frampton. Peter Frampton was the biggest act in the world. Yeah, he was the biggest act in the world in 1977, but Leonard Skinner was known for blowing the lead act off the stage. I don't know if they did it on this occasion because Peter Frampton was at the height of his powers, and most of the girls in the front row were there to see Peter Frampton. But you definitely want to see this version because this was recorded in 1977. The band basically was finished. By October of that year, the lead singer Ronnie Van Zant died in a plane crash along with Steve Gaines and Cassie Gaines.
And probably somebody from your list of people dying in plane crashes, man.
Oh yeah, right. Yep, and and so that, since it's a historical document and it shows you the power of Leonard Skinner, that's a must-watch. And we're going to go back to Peter Frampton, who was also at that concert, because he was the next guy that came up after Leonard Skinner to try to follow him. And he probably did, because the number 1 song from Peter Frampton you probably should see on reaction channels is "Do You Feel Like We Do?" The Midnight Special, again, this was a great show back in the day. They would let people just free form. Now, I know they gave Peter Frampton more than a 4-minute block for his song because "Do You Feel Like We Do?" The album version is a 17-minute song. The Midnight Special version is plenty long enough, and it features the talk box. And so if you wonder why he's making all that noise and how he does it, this is like a scientific little video for everybody that wonders what the hell that sound is. So you can't miss the talk box on "Do You Feel Like We Do?" Number 11 is a Chicago band you're familiar with. You said everybody in band loves Chicago.
I love Chicago's first album. I literally, it's permanently, I'm listening to it every day.
Oh, so you know this song. 25 or 624 is on their first album. And, of course, the funny part is that when I was a kid, I didn't know what the hell those numbers meant. I actually thought that it was about a bus schedule. Oh, I can take the 25 or I can take the 6 to the 4, right? That's what I thought it was, but it was actually about the clock. He was trying to write a song at 4 o'clock in the morning almost. Anyway, so it was written by the keyboard player.
It was his 25th song it was played he wrote at 6 to 4, basically.
Yeah, Richard Lamb, the keyboard player. And we brought this up earlier. The Chicago's one of the bands with 3 lead singers. The lead singer on this one is Peter Cetera. But the main reason you watch 25 or 624 is the guitar player, Terry Kath. Terry Kath who accidentally shot himself in the early 70s playing with a gun. So he was probably the best guitarist you never heard of. And Jimi Hendrix once said, now this is legendary, Jimi Hendrix. Somebody asked Jimi Hendrix, how does it feel to be the best guitar player? And he said, I don't know, what you asked Terry Kath. Something like that. Because Terry Kath...
What a great reply.
If that actually happened. Like I said, it's legendary, which means it's probably just that. But yeah, and Carrie Cath kills it on 25 or 624 because, you know, that's what he does. Number 12, you know, I had to get some Bob Dylan in here. Yeah. The one you want to see from Bob Dylan is your early Bob Dylan's. It's the one where he was just spitting poetry, and that one is It's All Right, Ma, I'm Only Bleeding, which is 8-minute song. But the live version, you know, the fact that he can sit up there and spit rhyme for 8 minutes with a guitar and a harmonica in front of a crowd, just, how do you do that? I don't even know. But anyway, if you want to get the feeling of what it was like, sit there and go. Look around to the crowd and go, you hearing this?
Is it still going?
Bob Dylan! It's All Right, Ma. Which, again, if you go see Dylan now, it's hit or miss, whether you can understand him, but he is a historical figure, so I'm being honest. I'm just being honest. Oh, number 12. That was number 12, was it not? Yes, it was on 12. Number 13 is Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. This isn't a concert, it's a music video, but my favorite one is I did not realize that so many people thought the Bee Gees were a black group. I did not know that.
Oh my god.
And it's so hilarious.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they know the song.
Well, to be fair, that's like with me with Jamiroquai. I thought Jamiroquai was a black woman when I heard his voice. Yeah.
It's a man. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. And so, again, the people who just jump out of their skin, basically. Whoa! That's a bunch of white guys! Yeah! And they're from England. I think they're from Australia, actually. English Australians. Anyway, there's your list. Staying Alive is not necessarily the top of the list, but it's the one that's like, it's not necessarily music, live music, but you watch the video and you're just like, wow. That one's always good. I could probably find better ones. Other ones on this list that you need to know that are not necessarily live music. And we got to put this on. Zombie, right, is a good one.
By Cranberries?
And, by the Cranberries, yeah. And Tom Sawyer by Rush. Everybody, that blows everybody.
And a man on Sawyer, be on time.
Video.
And I do what I do.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't know the words.
Yeah,
I know the inflection of his voice, but I don't know the words.
Close enough. So, does it remind you of the song? I don't think it got remind you of a song, did I? Because that'd be.
You haven't heard Tom Sawyer in a decade? Wow, Demigorge hasn't heard of hasn't heard Tom Sawyer in a decade. What a shame.
Well, you got to watch the live video. Live video, because you got to appreciate the band and their greatness. The fact that, you know, Geddy Lee can play bass and keyboards and sing at the same time.
Pretty impressive. Yeah.
I don't know. The most talented 3-man band, the most noise a 3-man band can make. Like most bands are 3-man, but they have a singer that sings, and that's all he does. Not Rush. They got a singer that does 3 things. Anyway,
there's a special
drummer with
not on the list, but they were honorary mentions.
Yeah, and Neil Peart, the drummer, as Kit, is bigger than my house. No, I'm just exaggerating, but yeah, he had a lot of pieces.
Okay, time for... I did end up writing at least 3 jokes I could come up with. Our first one, of course. Yeah, right. Before becoming pop stars, the Bee Gees used to be professional chefs. You could tell by the way they use their walk. A dark-skinned lady named Betty goes to the butcher and asks for some beef. The butcher replies, no, Black Betty, ham or lamb. Gotta use the new groaning sound. The new groan.
Right, more.
And our final one. Do you remember the show The Whitest Kids You Know on Comedy Central?
Yeah.
There was a guy on there called Timmy Williams. This guy looked up Timmy Williams ska band on YouTube. All that came up was Santana Smooth. That's a hard cut. You have to remember what Timmy Williams looks like. He looks exactly. It's a very hard one. That's a hard cut. You have to know all the references for that one. So that one's last. That one was my last joke because it's Timmy Williams. I do like Smooth. Because Smooth was a collaboration between, I don't know, some white guy. I don't remember the artist who sings on that song.
The white guys.
Yeah. White guy.
Albino Johnson.
Rob Thomas. Okay, Rob Thomas and Timmy Williams look almost exactly the same. So the joke there, right, is Timmy Williams ska band. Oh, it was just Rob Thomas and Santana. Same thing.
Rob Thomas from what the hell?
That one band. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Rob Thomas. I can't think of his name. I'll think of it in a second.
Thomas is from. Oh, he's actually German born. Interesting. Matchbox 20. Yeah. Matchbox 20.
Yeah, Matchbox
I remember.
20. Right.
Yeah, Matchbox 20.
He's
the singer of Matchbox 20. And he looks exactly like Timmy Williams. Or at least in that video, he looks exactly like Timmy. Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, that one was last for a reason. So I was like, no one's going to get this joke unless you specifically know who Timmy Williams is. And you know who Rob Thomas is. Let's roll our wheel for your segue. Well, the first two are great. The walk one.
Yeah, that was
mixed metaphor. Good. Do you want to re-roll or do you want to do more mixed metaphors?
Well, that's fine. Mixed metaphor is fine.
Okay.
I'm looking for a video anyway.
Then this is my culture news coming out of post Doctor Whodom, Ncuti Gatwa's new Shakespearean drama. This is by David Jays on The Guardian, and it is an interview. After surviving the whirlwind of Doctor Who, the actor returns to the stage in horny Elizabethan drama Born with Teeth. He and co-star Edward Blumell discuss bust lips, hot pants, and queering the bard story. As if Shakespeare wasn't gay already, because all the actors were men back in Shakespearean times, for anybody who doesn't know. So when they're Romeo and Juliet was two men kissing to begin with.
Yeah, well, pretend kissing.
I think of it as a very sexy, dangerous game of Elizabeth cat and mouse. Ncuti Gatwa is describing his new project with Royal Shakespearean Company, a two-hander about William Shakespeare and a fellow playwright, Christopher Kit Marlowe. Oh, so this is actually gay. Yeah. Two playwrights relationship. In Born with Teeth, Will and Kit collaborate on a play about Henry IV. For collaborate, read Flirt, Fight, and Ruminate Betrayal. Gatwa plays Marlowe and Shakespeare is Edward Blumell. The pair last worked together on TV Sex Education. Blumell followed that series about horny teens with Playing a Vampire, Discovery of Witches, an MI6 agent, Killing Eve, and a brooding lord, My Lady Jane. While Gatwa was cast as one of the Kens in the Barbie movie and starred in a little thing called Doctor Who. Sitting on a sofa just before rehearsals begin, they make amiable, nicely contrasted figures. Gatwa was cropped hair and tight white t-shirt, his bangle and ring shining gold. Tousle-haired Blumell in a black silver rings in ear and on finger. He's eager and chatty. Gatwa seems more guarded until his laugh explodes seemingly out of nowhere. Literally, that is what Gatwa does the best. Including laughter. A note from playwright Liz Duffy Adams in the Born with Teeth script says that the actors' ages and looks don't matter, as long as they're wildly charismatic, and Gatwa definitely fits that one. I have that, the interviewer has to ask, do they feel well cast? They gawk, and Blumell leads forward. We have to break it to everyone that Ncuti are wildly charismatic. Ncuti, you are wildly charismatic. I have to agree with that. So who are these characters? Fascinating to dig into these men who were more than likely queer in different ways, says Blumell. Marlowe wears his heart on his sleeve. Plays like Edward II are brazen and brave depictions of queer love. Shakespeare is scared. He wants to talk about things, but via ancient Rome or picturesque Ephesus. The play, Willivers, I want to hide in my work, like an outlaw in the forest. Kit derides his colleague as, careful Will, won't, whose won't. Marlowe, Gatwa declares, dances with danger. Play leans into his supposed career as an agent of Elizabethan spy masters and the peril that brings for everyone in his orbit. Mistrust lends to dialogue on erotic shimmer, and neither knows who is better played. How sincere is a snog, grins Blumel, a question I ask myself after every song. Drama thrives in history's gaps. Adams has Kit's scorn, search for their Henry IV's play. Sources? Are we to take direction from historians? Gatwa doesn't share that sentiment himself. He mentions a note from Daniel Evans, their director. All that joy research is not going to teach how to act characters. Even so, they enjoyed a research week, getting under the skin of that world, which doesn't feel too different from the world we're in now. Yeah, I think actors and acting on stage probably been the same since the Greek times. I think certain people are attracted to stage, and that personality has existed in humanity's time. It's certainly a rollicking read. It starts fast, and they're deep into each other's lives, unpicking each other, Gatwa says. When we first read the plays, there was a liftoff. It's so human. Their attraction to each other, their jealousy and insecurities. Adams drops. Some real deep cuts, lots of Easter eggs for the drama nerds, says Blumel. There's some beautiful passages. You set yourself the challenges of writing dialogue from Marlowe and Shakespeare. You've got to write pretty gorgeous stuff, which Liz has. The play is rooted in history, but so much is exciting, fun conjecture, where we as actors can really enjoy ourselves. Enjoying themselves on stage is what these actors signed up for. They'd both originally imagined theater careers, then TV got its greasy mitts on you, teases Mel. Shuddering, Gatwa summons its training for screen acting. Do you remember the first time you saw yourself on camera? Horrible! Blumel, who dreamed of performing Shakespeare in the National Trust Garden, still feels much more comfortable on stage, maybe because I can't watch myself. He hasn't performed in Shakespeare since a student attempt in Cardiff as Leonidas in Winter's Tale, though I always have my ears perked up to do some Shakespeare. Gatwa followed Mercutio in Romeo and Juliet in Manchester with Emma Rice's A Midsummer's Night Dream at Shakespeare Globe. A more recent retooled classic was the National Theatre's audacious The Importance of Being Earnest. It was chaos every single night, he beams. Delicious, delicious chaos. Rather like Born with Teeth, he says, shows brandished a queer subtext that was hiding in plain sight. In academic conversations, there's a tendency to play the stuff down. Nice to bring it out to the forefront. They were just really good friends, guys. They were not queer at all. Kit and Will were provincial lads who flourished in London. How about the actors playing them? Gatwa would travel up for auditions on the overnight bus from Glasgow. 30 quid for a bus from Glasgow. He waxes nostalgic. Megabus gold, I loved it. You'd sleep all night, get into Victoria Station, brush your teeth, and head off to your audition. Tried out for a role in Shakespeare's In Love in the West End just after being attacked by 3 strangers on his way home from a nightclub. I just got and jumped. Had a big problem with my mouth, he says, recalling the swelling that went on to explode during his meeting. I was in the audition for a flipping Sonia Friedman, the leading impresario, and it popped. It left the worst mood, but got the job. That was weird. The best actors are all working at McDonald's. The line between making it and not feeling arbitrary. A lot of right places, right time, and parts that lend themselves to you as an actor, Blumel confirms. I always think if I was the casting director, would I cast me in this? Sometimes the stars aligned. Time Lord in the room, of course, Doctor Who, the role that Gatwa has just relinquished after 2 not uncontroversial seasons. Yes, they were very controversial, but I thought they were really good. Few roles as such as the magnets for unfiltered opinion. Has he managed to tune out the chatter? Quite good at shutting the noise out, he said. It's loud, but it's very cool and exciting to be in the middle of this huge thing. There's haters, there's lovers, it's all going on. It is an absolute gift of a job, a gift of community. The Whovians are so deeply in my heart, I can't tell you. Quite apart from the chat, and there's a picture of Gatwa and the importance of being earnest. He's, for anyone who doesn't know who Gatwa is, he is a black man. And he's a black man wearing a pink show dress, playing the piano. That's what he was wearing as Algernon in The Importance of Being Earnest. Quite apart from the challenge of making the character your own, is there any coaching for the tension around the series? Yes, there was, but I don't think it can ever prepare you for what it feels like. Put security outside my mom's house, my brother's house, and I would say, what could possibly be needed? And then the need comes. Only someone who has stood on the eye of the storm can understand it. I was just at Glastonbury and bumped into Matt Smith in a club, he adds, and we had a great, deep chat about the job and how there's never been another like it in our lifetimes. We'll never work that hard again, never be as stimulated and stretched. It's also very exhausting, so lovely to delve into our other project. Bluemel's roles to attract a fair degree of attention. So is there an ideal level of fame? Offering opportunities but protecting you from the institution? My ideal is to work on good stuff and make a living from it, says Blumel. Some of those big jobs from a professional point of view might be amazing, but at what cost? Changes people's lives irrevocably. As a student, Gatwa was a go-go dancer at one of Glasgow's pivotal gay clubs. They had these shower cubicles that were open to the club. I would dance in the showers in a pair of hot pants and next morning wake up and work on sonnets. Is dance good for confidence? You need a lot of front, or a lot of shots. Yes, it was good for confidence. Chatting to different people every night. Go-go dancing sets you up for life. Yeah, you can't be too prideful when you're a go-go dancer. You just gotta let it all out. Born with teeth may not require hot pants, but it has required both actors to let go of some inhibitions. Movement director Ira Mandela Siban described some initial trust exercises. When something's falling into your arms, lifting you up, throwing you around, a trust builds, Gatwa says. There's a lot of stuff push and pull, adds Blumel. A high adrenaline vulnerability. Gatwa needs the bathroom, so they wrap up the interview, giving Blumel the last word on Born with Teeth. Feels modern and current, he says. A clash of ambition, jealousy, romance, ultimately two very complicated people who can't decide what they think of each other. I hope it feels like a horny Elizabethan whirlwind. So, Born with Teeth will be available at the Windham's Theatre in London from the 13th of August until the 1st of November. So if you find yourself in London, you find yourself in the West End, check out the Windham's Theatre and see Gatwa and Blumel on stage, being gay as possible, I guess. two Elizabethan playwrights just being gay as possible on stage.
Flintstones, meet Flintstones. Anyway.
What is your segue?
My metaphor. Luckily, my metaphor, I have a metaphor, and Shakespeare was a master of metaphors. So there you go. And one of his metaphors was, all the world is a stage, and all men and women are merely players. And Stevie Nicks said, players only love you when they're playing. So there's your mixed metaphor.
Ain't that that's a good mixed metaphor. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. Hell yeah. Hey.
Luckily
Kinky
for me,
Boots, another great. I think that
Shakespeare.
another Doctor Who was in. No, not Doctor Who. Brendan Urie from Panic! At the Disco was in Kinky. That's who it was. Like I know somebody famous was in. I have to associate at least 3 of your stories because you're doing this day in history.
Written by Kinky Boots. Written by who? I believe it's.
Why are you asking me this? I don't know.
Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, really?
Cyndi Lauper.
Wow. Okay, that's fun fact.
Yeah, she wrote the music. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That's her musical. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. Roger is a very educated man. He knows a lot, and he's been alive for a long time. So yes, he knows it. He knows.
I want to say she wrote the songs for it, but
definitely was
I'm not exactly
in
sure.
the production of the play, the musical.
Yeah, it says here.
Rock and roll demigod
Musical
says.
Lyrics and music written by Cyndi Lauper and Harvey Fierstein. So he was a gay actor. All right.
He was an actor and happened to be gay.
So get your
this
metaphor. It's absolutely gay. He's one of your first uncloseted gay actors, but it was pretty obvious. Anyway, our National Day calendar. On this day, what happened in history? I did send you a video, by the way.
Okay.
yesterday was Nuclear Holocaust Day. We're going to talk about the 17th today. July 17th, way back in the mists of time. Ooh, we're going way back. Okay, we're in 1453. And that wheel of time. On this day, French forces, we're talking about the French being in Africa. French forces routed the English in the Battle of Castillon, the concluding battle of the 100 Years' War. I said, well, finally, the 100 Years' War is finally over. Now I can write my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather who started it, right?
Yeah.
1683, the Turkish forces began the siege of Vienna against the Habsburg Holy Roman Emperor Leopold I. So, Turkish forces trying to destroy the Habsburg monarchy. 1763, the John Jacob Astor, founder of the renowned family of Anglo-American capitalists, business leaders, and philanthropists, was born in Waldorf, Germany. Of course, in order to become a philanthropist, you got to be a rich guy to begin with, which means you probably got to steal your money from working people. So, yay, philanthropists, I guess. Well, John Jacob Astor, I believe his son died on the Titanic, so you got that. 1862, Abraham Lincoln's wartime Congress passed the Second Confiscation Act, a precursor to the Emancipation Proclamation, which freed slaves only in the Confederate States. It didn't free the slaves in Maryland or Kentucky or West Virginia or anywhere
anybody
else.
who doesn't know your American history, they have these things called border states, right? They were just the states bordering the Confederacy, and they were allowed to do whatever they wanted as long as they made money, really.
Maryland was allowed to keep they were allowed to keep their slaves, Maryland was, because they were in the Union, and they were totally occupied by the military, so it really didn't matter if they had their slaves or not anyway, because they were occupied.
Yeah.
Because they might have seceded. Maryland might have seceded. And Washington, D.C. would have been completely surrounded, so that would have been terrible. 1902, American mechanical engineer Willis Carrier completed drawings for what would become the first modern air conditioner. Thank you, Willis Carrier, for keeping us all
Americans
cool.
everywhere rejoice, while the rest of the world's just like, okay. I can afford that.
And of course, basically, air conditioners compress gas, the same principle that operates your refrigerator. So thank them for that too. 1908, Carpathia, the ocean liner that rescued the survivors of the Titanic in 1912, was sunk by a German U-boat during World War I. German U-boats.
Oh, yes, actually. Yeah, I know about this. They knew it was going to happen, by the way, if you want a little historical. They knew it was possibly going to happen, and they still went out there anyways. Right? They still went out there.
It's a passenger ship. Germans were so terrified of whatever. I don't know what the hell that was about. They just killed a lot of innocent people. 1918, former Russian Tsar Nicholas II and his family were executed by the Bolsheviks. Anastasia screamed in vain, as the Rolling Stone said. 1944, German Field Marshal Rommel was seriously injured when his car was forced off the road by British fighter bombers. And Rommel didn't live a whole hell of a lot longer because he was part of the conspiracy to assassinate Hitler, and he had to take a bullet himself. 1945, Joseph Stalin, Winston Churchill, Harry S. Truman met at a Potsdam conference, the last Allied summit conference of World War II. If Harry Truman had a little bit more experience, he probably could have got a better deal, they say. 1955, Disneyland opened. Disneyland in Anaheim, California, not the Disney World down in Orlando. Disneyland, an amusement park featuring attractions based on the creations of Walt Disney and Disney Company, opened in Anaheim, California. And quite an interesting place. Considering 1955, all the robots they have, all the automatons, or what do you call them there? Amazing place. I imagine the maintenance guys have a real job on their hands keeping the old stuff going. 1996, TWA Flight 800 crashed into the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Long Island, killing all 230 people aboard. The U.S. government inquiry determined that a mixture of fuel and air had ignited accidentally within the fuel tank, although others believe the jetliner was shot down by a missile. I'm not buying their official explanation either. Sorry. not buy
animatronics. That's the word.
What's that?
Animatronics.
People thought the word for what?
I don't know. That's what Demigorge said.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Robots and Disney animatronics.
1998. Oh, okay. Right on. Thanks. I know I've been there, man, but it's a real trip. Disney World, though. Disney World is more modern. It wasn't finished until the mid. It wasn't finished until Walt Disney was already, a popsicle in a freezer. But the Disneyland has really got some antique robots. I guess
dangerous in some cases, I would say.
Well, of course they're dangerous, but hell, that's all the fun. 1998, the United Nations completed the statute establishing the statute, not the statue. They probably completed a statute too, but this was a statute establishing the International Criminal Court, which began sitting 4 years later. They began sitting. I wonder if they're seated yet.
Hey!
It's been 27 years. You think they'd be seated by now? 2009, Walter Cronkite passed away at the age of 92. Walter Cronkite, longtime anchor of the CBS Evening News, Walter Cronkite, became known as the most trusted man in America. Walter Cronkite. This is how we talk. He talked to this accent, and he talked real deliberately, and he made a sentence like this, and this. Walter Cronkite. Anyway, I'm done doing my impersonation. 2014, another plane crash. It's plane crash day, apparently. Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 crashed into a separatist-held territory in Ukraine, killing all 298 people on board. A Dutch investigation later determined that the aircraft was shot down by a Russian-made surface-to-air missile. Maybe the Dutch should have investigated the crash on Long Island, because that was shot down by a missile, and the Transportation Safety Board thought it was a good idea to lie to everybody. Hey, we're just going to lie about this because
who has a missile in Long Island to shoot down a plane? Right. It was it was Hawaii. They did it.
They were all worried about. Oh no, the airlines will lose money. That's all that really mattered there.
Yep.
Not the truth. Yeah, that was hosed up. I mean, witnesses saw missiles going off. That's all I got to say. I mean, maybe witnesses are full of shit.
It's really hard to miss a missile. I don't know if there's anyone out there who's
broad daylight too.
Yeah.
In 2020, on this day, American civil rights leader and politician John Lewis, who helped launch the march that was halted by police violence on Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama, in 1965. Of course, John Lewis is on film. He's that guy getting knocked unconscious by a thug. Call them cops, but they're thugs. A landmark event in the history of civil rights, and of course, John Lewis became a member of Congress from Alabama in a gerrymandered district, of course, because that's the only way a black man can get elected in Alabama is they gerrymander a district for him. And of course, they did that in exchange for here's how gerrymandering works. In Alabama, they gerrymander John Lewis' district so he wins it by 90%, right? And the rest of Alabama, they gerrymander it so they win the district by 52 to 48%. That's how gerrymandering works. Yay! That's how it's done in Wisconsin for sure. Gerrymandering. You got the Democrats get 80% of the vote in your state, but they get 20% of the representatives because they're all in one district. Yeah. Makes no sense. I mean, that's not where Alabama goes, but like I'm saying, that was gerrymandered for the other reason, right? To give minority representation where there wasn't any. This day in history, July 17th, 1736, Belgian-Spanish War. I'm sorry, the Belgian-Spanish War? That makes no sense. The beginning of the Spanish Civil War, a well-planned uprising by nationalist
Spain
rebels.
At some point, but yeah. I mean, the Netherlands fought Spain. So.
Yeah. And what this problem with this is, this allowed Francisco Franco, who's still dead, to assume power. And our feature biography, Adam Smith, we talked about on the other day, the economist, Scottish philosopher, invented economics as a field, really. July 7th, 1790 is Death Day, July 17th, 1790. So it doesn't say when he was born. But Other birthdays, 1935, Donald Sutherland, Canadian actor, recently deceased. 1947, Camilla, Queen of the United Kingdom. Oh yeah, Camilla Parker Bowles. Happy birthday to her. She's 78 today. I'm sorry, Camilla, Queen of the... isn't she the king consort, or what do they call him? She's actually the queen? I don't know. If she's the queen, why wasn't Prince Philip made the king? That makes no sense whatsoever. Anyway, 1954, Angela Merkel, Chancellor of Germany. Birthday. 1958 is the birthday of Wong Kar-wai, Chinese director. And 1975 is the birthday of Australian mathematician Terence Tao. Oh, I wonder if he wrote the Tao, my favorite religious text, the Tao. Anyway, which is not a religion at all. It's more of a philosophy.
It's National Day Calendar. How Buddhism should be. It's like a sub category.
It's a Eastern, Far Eastern religion is not believing some outer being is going to fix you. That only you can fix you.
You hear that? You freaking
all right, National
Buddhist monks from yesterday's story.
That's right. Right. The ones that are trying to get them.
Yeah.
National Lottery Day, July 17th. So it's a lottery. Play the lottery today. Give that involuntary tax. Actually, a voluntary tax. Sorry. It's a voluntary tax on poor people who think that, hey, if I just keep playing the lottery, I'll get rich. And, 1 out of 30 billion of them get rich. Or 30 million get rich. And, hey, see, it happens. National Tattoo Day. Yeah, spend that lottery money on a tattoo. And... they got a picture of somebody that's got so many tattoos on their arm, there's no room for another one, so they're putting another one anyway. So, okay. Ran out of room. That's got to suck. You're running a room for tattoos, right? Where am I putting a tattoo? It's World Emoji Day, which we covered earlier in our opening. And it's Get to Know Your Customers Day, which is the third Thursday in each quarter. And it's National Dole Whip Day. Again, I think we looked this up last year. Dole Whip is a dessert made by the Dole Pineapple Company, I reckon. And I probably looked it up last year and I completely forgot, right? So I'm looking it up again. National Dole Whip. Let's see what we got here. Go back to last year's show. The frozen dairy-free Dole Whip has been around since 1984. In fact, the original Dole Whip consisted of a float of whip and glass of pineapple juice. Fruity delicious flavor. Yep,
Fruity
again, I had to look it up.
Flavor.
I'd never heard of it before last year, and I had to look it up again. So there's your spins of the wheel. I did send you a video. Hopefully you got it. Your spins of the wheel, your mispronunciations, your bad jokes, your bad puns, your limericks for July 17th. 2025 on before Dole Whips.
Yo, Dole Whips. Okay, I did make an edit of what you sent me, and I also added the Tomorrowland explosion because I just removed all the weird news stuff that they always put on the videos.
Okay.
So let me know when you can watch that video because I just uploaded. It might take longer than we think to watch it.
Maybe not because I don't have any other windows open.
No, I mean, like, I don't know if it's done uploading or whatever the hell YouTube does. Make it so that you can actually watch it.
You know, what happens is Facebook takes the longest to load because, I don't know, Facebook just eats much memory. And then I gotta go through the chats.
Let me think of a segue here anyways, because I have to associate what you've said with something. Well, I guess I kind of already did that during your readout, which is Spanish Civil War associated with the when Spain was attacking Leiden. Leiden famously is a what do you call that? It's like a walled city, right? The whole thing is defensible because it's a fort city. And Leiden was able to fight against Spain's encroaching on Dutch soil, and I think they ended up winning. They never collapsed, and You can actually walk the line of like where the walls originally were all over Leiden. Be like, this is where the walls used to be. And then there's also cute little, you know, historical facts like, this is the path smugglers used to get food in. Because, you know, the whole place was surrounded by the Spanish forces. I don't remember which Spanish monarch this was, but probably Francisco something. Oh.
Right.
Or King
Franco.
Philippe the Fourth or something. One of those guys. I don't know even why they wanted the Netherlands. I have no idea why they even went all the way to the North Sea, or maybe they were just being French. France wanted to, you know, to conquer everything. And it was the Spanish's turn to leave the Iberian Peninsula. Honestly, it doesn't make a lot of sense because of how the Iberian Peninsula is, right? You got the mountain range separating Spain from France, so they can't really run ground troops. They have to run boats, and then those boats have to go onto the water somewhere, either through the Mediterranean or all the way to the Atlantic or the North Sea, just to, you know, conquer the Netherlands. So I think, in the end of the day, it was always going to be a lost cause. That's why a lot of islands and the countries next to the water can have it easier, but they can also have it worse, depending on where you're coming from.
Right. So. Yep. You having trouble. This video is not playing for me.
Yeah, like I said, so it's probably still processing. I don't know why, but YouTube always wants to process stuff to make sure that it's in optimal HD. Whatever.
Whatever loading. If it don't load here, you just go ahead and play it, and I'll watch the part I know.
It should be ready. On my screen, it's watch it.
Yeah, tell my computer that.
What does it say?
Let's see. Well, I'm opening it in Chrome now to see if it opens. It looks like it's opening now. But no proof. Okay, there it goes. All right.
Okay, all right.
Ready.
There are no international days today, so we will not be celebrating anything. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. This has been Allison from the Netherlands, Roger from the East Coast of the US. Don't forget to drink water, wear sunscreen, subscribe to and follow either the Twitch or the YouTube channel so you can get notified when we go live and post a video. And here is our explosive mic drop moment. This first one is from 4 years ago in Maryland, Ocean City.
Fireworks show on a beach in Ocean City.
Ocean City, where I used to live.
Yeah.
I wasn't living there at the time this happened. I'd already moved out because it was summer.
The accident happened at about 10:15 a.m. on Sunday when fireworks in or near a truck on the beach ignited.
Very big fireworks display, just all that money wasted. I think it was paid for by tax dollars too.
Being set up on the beach for the town's fireworks show. The fire department said
but I'm telling you, all the fireworks going off at once is quite impressive, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that people get PTSD from these things.
Although it was busy on the beach,
because they're explosions, they're bombs. They're flashy bombs.
Yeah, and you just
witnesses. There were no.
This is a case of everybody learning how fast they can run, right?
I can't remember which country it was. I don't know if it was in the Middle East. And this is the Tomorrowland footage, right? So this is what the main stage looked like, which is, you know, nobody's going to perform on that.
But for comparison stage, you can see what it looks like when a whole shitload of pyrotechnics go off at once.
You can hear,
this is
you
more
can
or
hear a
less
bunch of the fireworks going off.
Bottle rocket. Right. There they go. Fireworks.
Luckily, nobody was harmed. Just all the people
really
worked hard on the stage decorations. This is what it's supposed to look like, but it's not going to look like that because it's on fire.
I don't know how you go to that festival and have a good time. Right. Somebody had a smoke break. Looks like. Probably, I don't know. Either case, it was probably human. I guarantee it's either human error or intentional. There's only two possibilities, right?
Sadly.
Yeah, fireworks don't set themselves off. Yeah, there's a beginning, huh? Looked like a nice stage. Too bad it's gone.
Oh, this is just a...
I feel sad for people who worked on it.
Look at it. It's basically just scaffolding now. Except for that right side.
Terrible.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons. And follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.